Okay, welcome back. I have one more video to show you, and this is going to cover the foramina of the skull. This area is a little bit tricky for some students, and I just don't want you to have any hiccups on this one. You're going to get this with no problem at all. But let me point out a few things to help you with your studies. Okay, so I have the inferior surface of the skull, same skull I used before. I just flipped it around, took away the hyoid bone and some ligaments. And what we're going to do is identify these openings. Now, if you go through and look at all the openings, there's a lot of them here. We're only going to be looking at 5 of them, not many at all. In particular, the first 4 are the small ones, a little bit confusing. The foramen magnum, which is this huge opening on the bottom, not a big deal at all. So let's start with the first one, foramen lacerum. That's going to be the most medial of the bunch, and it's going to be right up here on this side. You will have them paired, so you'll have foramen lacerum on this side as well. So which side you're looking at doesn't really matter. I like sticking to the left side because I've always used that left side, but if you like the other side, go for it. My little pattern here will refer to the left side. Okay, so this is going to be the foramen lacerum. Now I do want to point out that you have to do the edge of the opening. If you select the middle of the opening, what you're going to be doing is getting the frontal bone. We don't want the frontal bone, but why do you get that? Because that's the bone that's on the other side of that opening, is a frontal bone in this view. Okay, so make sure you're clicking, and I don't want sphenoid bone either, but you're doing the edge of the opening, the foramen lacerum. Okay, now looking at this figure, you're going L is foramen lacerum, the next one is foramen ovale. That is going to be up and a little bit to the right, which is right here. Okay, foramen ovale. After that, you're going to go to the carotid canal. Carotid canal is going to be down and a little bit to the left, and it's actually this one right here. Now, this one looks like a solid bone, but when you turn it around, you sort of see that, you see that opening appearing there? That's the carotid canal. This one is very important in the base of the skull because this is how the carotid arteries with freshly oxygenated blood gets into the brain tissue, into the brain for the tissue. So the carotid canal is very, very important. The next one is going to be the jugular foramen, and that's going to be just posterior to the carotid canal. And again, I can't select the bone there behind. I got to get the edge right there. There's the jugular foramen. Okay, this one is also incredibly important because this is how the deoxygenated blood exits the brain through the skull to get back to the heart. So the jugular veins go through the jugular foramen. Kind of makes sense, right? So not really difficult at all. So after you get there, then you come to the foramen magnum, the largest opening that goes into the spinal cord, and we've got our whole pattern set. So some students look at this and they say, oh, lockjaw, I got it, I get it. Yeah, I never forget it. Once you do, you really don't forget it. But you start with the lacerum foramen, foramen lacerum, then the foramen ovale, carotid canal, then jugular foramen, and the foramen magnum on the very end. That's it. That's all you need to know for the foramina of the skull. Piece of cake, right? You're going to ace it on this next assessment. I will see you in the next video, probably in a week. But if you have any questions, please let me know on that discussion board. And if you can answer any of your fellow classmates' questions, go for it. You know, get to know each other, get to be study buddies. Doesn't hurt. All right, we'll see you in the next video.